Local Live is a production of WMSE Radio, broadcast tonight from Club Garibaldi. Once again, we ask you to please give a warm welcome to our guest tonight, Klassik.
Thank you all. Thank you all for being here this evening on this blistery, I guess it decided to be winter today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Can't be passive, gotta get active. Can't be passive, you gotta get active. Can't be passive, gotta get active. Can't be passive, gotta get active. Passive, gotta get active. Can't be 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 passive, gotta get active. Passive, gotta get active. Can't be passive, gotta get active. Passive, gotta get active. Can't be passive, gotta get active. Passive, gotta get active. Sing some things that you would find hard to believe. Same nightmares, these same dreams. This is happening. In this life you can't be passive, gotta get active. I've seen some things that you would find hard to believe. Same nightmares, these same dreams. This is happening. In this life you can't be passive, gotta get active. Can't be passive, you gotta get active. Can't be. Club Garibaldi, if y'all feeling alright tonight, let me hear you make some noise. Yeah, yeah. Check 2 1 2. Yeah. Check 2 1 2. Real music, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Check 2 1 2. Real music, what are you gonna do? And you can't be. You can't get active. You can't be. You gotta get active. You can't be. You gotta get active. You can't be. Can't be passive. You gotta get active, baby. I've seen some things that you would find hard to believe. These ain't nightmares, these ain't dreams. This is happening. In this life you can't be passive, you gotta get active. I've seen some things that you would find hard to believe. These ain't nightmares, these ain't dreams. This is happening. In this life you can't be passive, you gotta get active. We want all the smoke. See, I've seen some things that cannot be erased. Confront my demons face to face, I'm in a space of elevation. Elevator cannot take me down, won't take me out the pace of my own race. I might as well go crazy. It's been raining in the purple, you and kingdoms while this prince will do. My brain is new, this ink is fresh and dripping through the pages. Burst of stage and grip these raging views of distant nations. Why be patient? You can just mold a new civilization. I'm alive, nations wanna stop a fella, but I've been rocking hella stages, slaying them per usual. Just use the tools of ancient movements, move the fools that are just way too complacent. This cruiser Jason never parallel. That with hells in heavenly bodies, my reverence is godly, but I'm no patron saint. These patrons can't even afford these pieces. Piece I cannot paint with all this hate around me. Surrounding with sounds in stereo, oh, there you go. Speaking that new in mono, but you too late bono. Cause shred the hate if you're more aware of the things that scare you. Stare it in the eye and tell it, yo, how dare you. Climb the stairs to a higher place, not unlike heaven. I preach to reverence in the pastor. If your pasture is not green, my fertilizer will get you there so much faster. Can't be passive, you gotta get active. You can't be passive, no, you gotta get active. You can't be passive, no, you. One time, if you feeling really good, make noise. I've seen some things that you would find hard to believe. These ain't nightmares, these ain't dreams. This is happening. In this life, you can't be passive. You gotta get. We want all. I've seen some things that you would find hard to believe. These ain't dreams, this is happening. In this life you can't be passive, gotta get active. We want all. Passive, you gotta get active, can't be passive. 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 You gotta get active, passive. You gotta get active, can't be passive. You gotta get passive, you gotta get active, can't be passive, you gotta get active, passive, you gotta get active, can't be passive, you gotta get active, passive, you gotta get active, can't be passive, you gotta get passive, you gotta get active, can't be passive, you gotta get passive, you gotta get active. I've seen some things that you would find out to be passive, you gotta get active. These ain't nightmares, these ain't dreams. This is happening, yeah. Passive, you gotta get life, you can't be passive. You gotta get active, 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 can't be.
It is Klassik on tonight's edition of Local Live. We are coming to you from Club Garibaldi.
Hey!
As you can hear, we got a live audience out here. And still time for you to get down here, of course, if you happen to be in your car or something. And I'd like to also remind our audience that those note cards on the tables, those are for you guys to write some questions down and bring them up to us or give them to Sid, and we'll squeeze in as many of those as we can. But right now, we'll start off with some of our own and see where the night takes us. It's funny because we've got this booming system here in Club Garibaldi, and Klassik killing it up there, and the name of the album is Quiet.
Yes.
And I'm kind of curious if that that whole concept was rolling around in your mind throughout the songwriting process for this album? Was that the original genesis of the album?
So the genesis of the album for me was it came from recognizing a need to eliminate what I identified as noise. I think the process, I was thinking about this the other day, the process for this album pretty much started with this current presidency, this album and the things that I was going through and the noise that was happening really started for almost 5 years ago. And there was just a lot of things unsettled in me, going to therapy and breaking down the things that are working inside, the things that make noise. Because it's really easy to identify and point at people or at other things this person is doing this and this, but it's really hard to point that finger inside and identify the things that we individually need for peace and quiet. And so for me, peace and quiet are very synonymous. It's very ironic that I'm kind of a spaz and kind of loud and I got this screech thing going, but and in my day-to-day life, I'm really not that loud. I actually really enjoy quiet. So I think it's important. I think it's powerful to be able to sit with your thoughts and to be able to actually identify them and confront them head on. So that, long and short, that's what this album kind of attempted to do.
Okay. Would you call it a concept album? It's definitely got similar themes running through it.
Yes, I guess I would. When I started this album, it started with the idea of quiet, and it started with a group of friends, and we were sitting outside at a park and just shooting hanging out with friends. I was like, how do you say this in radio land? Hanging out.
Well done.
And there was this moment where we were all just talking and it just got quiet, and we were by this river bank, and so you could just hear water and nature. And so I think it ended up being a concept album because it started with the concept, but the songs that I was making, the songs that I was accumulating over those 4 years, I never sit down and write a song I'm gonna write a song about this. That just never, it didn't happen at any point in this album process. It's never happened for me. It's just really the fact that it became a concept and it became emboldened by the songs that were naturally coming. So yes, it is very much so a concept album, but it just started with a thought, and it just inspired all these kind of other facets of tangents.
Okay. Some of our listeners may remember the last time you were on our show. You actually, I think it was the debut performance of the song Basilica Sunset, which ended up on the album.
Yeah.
Was that one of the earliest songs you wrote for the album? If you can remember back that far?
No, actually. That was one of the later songs.
Okay.
Let me think, because I was actually living in Bayview, and I wrote that song sitting at a piano watching the sunset over the basilica. So it was a very literal thing. But that was 2018. So this album process really started 2015, 16. Lone Ranger, and then the song Noise with Saba. That song is actually, coincidentally, the oldest song on the album. I had that feature from him in early, mid-2016.
Wow.
And so that was one of the oldest records, and coincidentally, kind of those two records that are the oldest sit right in the middle of the album.
Oh, okay. So aside from obviously making music, writing music, what are some other practices you have for finding that peace, that quiet that you need?
I don't know what that was. My gut reaction was to tell you that I will tell you when I find out.
Okay.
Because I think that, but the longer explanation of that is that I think that it is just an ongoing process and ongoing thing, just like anything in our lives. Like it's something that you constantly have to redefine and claim and identify and adjust and adapt. And it's just like these cycles of everything. Like the last album, Seasons. Everything comes in seasons. And that goes for emotions, and that goes for events that happen, or just anything, just human history and just like current events. All of these things, they come in cycles. But if we don't like shut up and listen and watch, then that's why things just keep repeating, because we don't take that moment to be quiet and stop trying to throw in our hat. And like everyone's just trying to out whatever the next person is. Like everyone just shh. Let's just all collectively take a breath. Let's really call it what it is. Let's be accountable. Like all of these things that are just so we're so afraid to do, so we mask it with noise. All the things that are really difficult to do, we just make a lot of noise on top of it instead of actually doing the thing. So.
Well said. Well said.
I've thought a lot about it.
I can tell.
We do have a bunch of audience questions that just came through, but I wanted to ask too, since we're on that topic, you had been working on American classics as well, kind of simultaneously as Quiet. So, out of that time period, 4 years or longer, what was the most therapeutic song that you worked on that really, really made you feel I guess re-energized or more determined, or was there, maybe I'm asking the wrong, maybe
No,
one
that's
is not the right question.
That's a really, really good question. That was an audience question?
No, that's me.
Oh, that's you. That's you. Because you said, you're like, oh, they're audience. Never mind. Okay.
There's
Well, that is an
backup.
excellent question, Erin. Again, trusting my gut, I would say Serenity. Of the songs in the album, when I think about writing that, when I think about the words that came very naturally, I think about where I was when I was writing them. It's like a really eerie time capsule of this was a plea. This was like a lot of the things on the album, they're really calls to action. They're not just oh, I'm complaining that this isn't that. This is really here's what you can do, or this is how you address it. And so I think the scariest thing, and the word serenity has followed me since once I wrote that song, I just couldn't escape that theme, that acceptance and that balance, the things that we strive for and the things that I would identify as peace. And if things are quiet and still, then I have serenity, which means that, I don't know if you guys know what serenity is for, and not just for religious folks, but just the idea of being this isn't in my control, this is, and knowing the difference. It seems so simple, but it's not. It's super crazy. It's super difficult. But writing that song and saying that was really easy. Heeding my own advice and having to revisit that song. And so the fact that that is such a core piece of the album and of my being, I guess I would say Serenity.
It sort of holds you accountable when you put it down in writing, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I guess what I want to do is ask, one slightly more fluffy question to end this little round of questions, and then we could get into another song. But we had a great question, which I also want to know, is do you have any pets, and do they influence your music?
I don't have pets. They are my children. They are our children. No, my girlfriend and I, we have 2 cats, and they are our children, and they are brothers. They have an Instagram. You can follow them. They're gonna pass me. I have to accept that. Every day I wake up and I look at them, and I'm just like, what do you got that I don't got? I don't get it. But no, I guess I haven't written any cat songs. But I mean, I grew up with a cat, so I've always been more of like I joke and say that like in a past life, either I was one or I still just am, and I haven't quite figured it out yet. But they got the right idea. Like they got their own motive. Like they do their own thing. They sleep. They stretch. Like they're in shape. Maybe ours. You got to watch how much you feed them. But they got a nice life. Maybe I'll write a song about cats soon.
All right. Well, shall we have one more that's not cat-like?
Dang, I thought that was a perfect segue into this cat song.
Oh, I ruined it. Sorry.
So, and actually, this isn't a cat song. I should. This song, I was gonna put this somewhere else, but this song is important to me too. This would be like a number 2 to your. If Serenity was the number 1. Invisible Man, which I'm about to do here, would be very close to that, especially with the state of things and like with the stuff that happened at the mall yesterday, and just it's something that I don't really talk about often in music, and something that I've been getting to like come to terms and express of like feelings of personhood and placement and like your safety. And so the song Invisible Man I wrote coincidentally after reading the book Invisible Man. So I had a lot of thinking to do, and I tried to keep the song light, more or less. So I've never done this live, so I have no idea what this is gonna sound like. Enjoy. Told you I haven't done it yet. Still got the other takes in there. Let me take that one out. See, I ain't met nobody that I thought could really see me yet. Yeah. Invisible man in an invisible sack. Shouting from the top of mountains, oh, y'all don't hear me yet. Yeah. Invisible man, I fought to this invisible death. But now I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. Now I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, alive, I'm alive. I can't stand it, make them, they don't understand it. I've been going ham. If you pass it to class, then I'm NBA jamming. The flash of the cameras is nothing that's new to me, dog. Getting shot down just like one. Scared of the dark matter, bring the light gun. Do we even got the without refrain? Couple shots through my dope, but I still can't complain. Been through depression, I've been through the pain, trying to let all them things out my system like drain. No, we already know how the game go. Can't put no trust in these insane. Looking like a model with the chains closed. Really be the devil like flame on. All for that fantastic, bombastic, see classes, that real life, and you've been messing with that plastic. See, I'm all for that fantastic, bombastic, see classes, that real life, and you've been messing with that plastic. I ain't met nobody that I thought could really see me yet. Invisible man in an invisible set. Shouting from the top of mountains, oh, y'all hear me, yeah. Invisible man, I fought to this invisible death. Now I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. Yeah, now I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. I ain't met nobody that I thought could really see me, yeah. Invisible man in an invisible set like a diamond. Shouting from the top of my zone, you don't hear me, yeah. Invisible man, I fall to this invisible death. But now I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive, I'm alive. Yeah. For now I'm alive. Thank you.
It's WMSE's Local Live. We're down at Club Garibaldi, and we've got Klassik up on stage. We've got audience questions in our hands, and I think we'll get to a few of these first. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah, I think I've got a good one to kick it off. Kellen, are you ready for this?
Yes, I am. Yes,
yeah.
I am. Just
okay.
kidding.
Well, this one's pretty easy, so we'll let you warm up. If you could choose a product to endorse yourself, what would you choose?
Wait, what? So if I could choose a product,
To
like
endorse
to be like a spokesperson.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is that even
Is this your
allowed
question
on
again, or
public radio?
is this from the audience?
It's from the audience.
Okay, good on this question. Wow. Because first, my first reaction is like, brand sponsorship, and that's kind of weird. But like, also, I'm broke. I'm an artist. Like, I'm not stupid. Like, wow. This is a really difficult question. I've just never. You know what? To plug, and hopefully TC Helicon hears this little box that is like my little magic box for vocal effects. If TC Helicon, if I could be a spokesperson for them to show the world the many wonders that TC Helicon can bring you in your voice, that would be it for now. But there's probably something way more like special and like saving whales or something that I would probably stand by. But I just really can't think of it right now. So I'm gonna say TC Helicon. Yeah.
Spread the word, listeners. All right, this is a pretty big open-ended question from the audience. Where do you find inspiration? And obviously not cats, but
that's not
something
true.
else.
They bring joy and love to life, to everyone's life.
I agree.
I'm inspired a lot. A lot of visual things. Like before I got into music, growing up, I thought I was gonna be like a comic book artist. So visual, like painting, sketching, thing that I was always trying to communicate the ideas in my head. Like my inspiration place is like going to the art museum, but like on a day when it's, cause I've been a member for like a while, solely for this reason where it's like I can go on a weekday and just kind of be. And I don't know, I mean, it's quiet. Like what inspires me, like the ability to be somewhere and for me to not contribute any noise either, to be like a spectator, to watch, and so what better place to look and watch things than an art museum? And it just so happens that they got some nice things to look at. And it's in a nice area. It's kind of scenic. Being by bodies of water, something about the fluidity of it. That was a theme that kind of went through the album. Like a lot of the vocal samples and the harmonies are supposed to be almost like the rivers that kind of run throughout the album. So there's a lot of me sampling myself and these kind of like washed out harmonies, because water, and we live in a city by a ginormous body of water that I've grown up with and identify with, and so there's a certain inspiration and like peace in that for me. So art museums, parks, like things that you probably wouldn't expect from those city kids. But
makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah.
All right, I've got another audience question here. What local music events do you like to attend, and which events have you always wanted to play?
I've always wanted to play Chill on the Hill. I don't know how we can make that happen. And then if you know, you know. You had to be there. And I really just, I don't know if there's like a staple, and honestly, I haven't been getting out to as many shows, which I feel like I've been like kind of like feeling the itch. Like I've been in a very like introspective and kind of like more like, the album's out, let me just like be over here. But I like to just see as many different genres. Like, I mean, when I lived in River West, I was going to see like the bluegrass nights every Wednesday with all 5 of us that were in there. And but it was like this ritual of like just hearing, like being exposed. And I think I used to do that after leaving Group of the Altos practice. We would have this like 16-piece rock band practice, and then I would go listen to bluegrass. And that's pretty indicative of like kind of how I like to like go out. So like summer, like you can just pick a day. Like, all right, like there's just tons of, and I love it. I wish that it was always like that here, but then we wouldn't live in Wisconsin now, would we? We love it here.
Yes, we do.
So I don't know. So Chill on the Hill, let's do that. And I don't know, just I can't pick like a certain street festival or a venue. One of my favorite places was RIP, like Hotel Foster. I used to live over there, and I missed the Globe and thankfully I missed the Live and Lava days. I don't think I really missed a lot there, but like saw a lot of really great shows at like a turning point. Like I remember Webster X, Milo, and I did a show at Hotel Foster. So some special shows around that time. I don't know. So I can't really narrow it down. I try to just see it all as much as possible, and I want to get better at that too.
Fair enough.
I wanted to kind of tie a question Cal and I had together. We had questions about characters in your music. Like the character of Lone Ranger comes up, Icarus references, stuff like that. I guess are you interested in mythology and stories, and do you relate to any specific characters more prominently than others and use them in your songs, like as a vehicle, like to introduce yourselves to your audience in a way?
There are pieces of me in all of those stories. And it over the course of writing the album, like with P&Q, with Marielle, and having that story, the song started with the idea of burning bright in the sun. And I wasn't even, the funny thing, and this happens a lot in the creation, it happened a lot in the creation of this album. Like I have this thought or this phrase and I don't know what it means. And so I just woke up one day, burning bright in the sun, just stuck in my head, like what does that even mean? And so I built the song, and then Marielle came, and then like I was like, wait, what is, okay, Icarus, okay, I get it. And then there was like so there's this really deep parallel that like was drawn out with Icarus, that I'm writing this kind of like artist statement about the album that one day maybe I'll release, like really going in depth with each song. But with P&Q and with the story of Icarus, I saw parallels with like my life and with me and my father. But the way that I viewed it is that like this album was me getting through a lot of struggles, mentally, emotionally, just like nightlife, just alcohol, and just things that are just around. And my dad may have like struggled with things like that, but I wouldn't know. Like my father was killed when I was like pretty young. But I saw the story of Icarus of like, wow, here I am kind of dealing with some things, or like, what would he say? Like, maybe there is like a warning, maybe just in like what happened, like there's a warning, or that is, and this is, in that song, and identifying that, it felt like, oh, I'm catching myself again. It's the accountable thing. Like either flying too low and like soaking your wings, you can drag you down. Like you can equate that to like depression or anxieties, and then the flying too close to the sun with the ego and just this sense of pride and this ignorance, which is also like this enemy of quiet. Like throughout the album, like ignorance is like one of the loudest things. It's just so loud. Like the dumbest things are so loud. And yeah, I just went off on a tangent, and that's just yeah.
I think that was the direct question that we asked, so
yeah.
perfect.
Okay, okay. Then please stop me, because I probably keep going.
Thank you.
I think maybe we should have another song. Everybody likes the music. I think that's the best part.
Yeah, no one wants to hear me talk. I don't say anything.
Another song from Klassik here on Local Live tonight, guys.
I won't complain. Things that I once worried about will never stay the same. Where was I'm running from and racking my brain. All this stress comes and goes like rain. If I gone insane, might have felt like I lost my mind, but never lost my way. See, I've seen it coming, and I guess they call it change. And I'll no longer be afraid. forgetting that these blessings, they've been coming too strong. Been losing focus, need to be a little more alert and sip some long tea. Now tell me who gon' stop me? They never copy, but they overcome the master plan. The classic man, I tell them, be more observant, not just a servant to your surroundings. Sounded like something more deserving of my empowering. I've been showering in the fall of summer came and went. I made a bit of winds of winter bending, sending shades of sin I've grown accustomed to. I've grown apart when I don't trust them. Their intent is subjective, but that's too subject through search through customs. Cause this love thing is a foreign affair. I ain't been playing it fair, but at least I made it on. And I'll no longer be afraid. See, I won't complain. I can't complain, can't complain, can't complain. Can't complain, can't complain. Please don't go off of the rails. Please don't go off the tracks. Please try to relax. Please try to relax. Please don't rehash past incidents. I'm past incident, I'm past incidentals. Incremental, trying to raise us up another level. Incidentally, I've been looking like another. When doves cry, I've seen purple rain too, raining down on you. Who's new? Blues Clue. You looking like a Steve with a gumshoe. Who would've knew? Who would've thunk it? Who would've drunk it? Not me. Leave it alone. Got to be sober. Got to be higher than higher than higher than the highest of the high.
Thank you. WMSE's Local Live. We are happy to have Klassik with us and appreciate all these audience questions, making our job easy. I have one here from someone in the audience asking, where and when did you go to school? Music, MPS, question mark?
Ooh, yes, I am a proud MPS graduate. I went to MPS. Yeah, definitely make some noise for that because I don't think enough. There's so many talented musicians, so many of my peers who like I've known for years, like since high school. Like Mark, Pay for Highland, shout out Mark, there he is. I was like, it's not that bright. And Abby and like Be Free, we just all went to school together. Abby, Be Free, and we all went to High School of the Arts. So I went to Lloyd. I'm playing that. There wasn't like that Facebook game where like, where did you go to school? Give us all your grades. And I was like, this is kind of weird. I don't want you all to know that, but I'll tell the radio audience. I went to Lloyd Street, and at the time it was called Lloyd Street Global Education School. It's not called that anymore. Why it isn't, I don't know. I went to middle school at Roosevelt Middle School of the Arts. And I graduated from High School of the Arts, all with jazz saxophone. So I started with saxophone in 4th grade, studied with Berkeley Fudge, and played all throughout high school.
Very cool.
So shout out MPS. Please keep we cannot say it enough. I will say it at every opportunity I get that we need to keep the arts alive in schools. And I don't care if you're tired of hearing people say that, but I mean, without that, I wouldn't be here. Be Free wouldn't be here. The Abbeys, the Webster X, I don't know, Webster went to Tulsa, so that's it. But still, but having arts, no disrespect to Tulsa, I live pretty close. But the idea of having artistic outlets in schools, without those things, none of us would be here. None of us would have this passion. None of us would, there is nothing else that I see myself doing, and I wouldn't know that without going through that. So.
Absolutely. Another audience member wanted to know, what's your favorite thing to have for lunch? Digging deep here.
I have a confession. I have a really bad problem with corned beef, guys. And I don't do it often. If I could, I would. I love corned beef. I just want to lay in it and roll around in the little corn pebbles with some mustard on me, a little butter.
Okay, so now I have to ask, Benji's or Jake's?
Wow. So and you left out a very important one because I'm going to throw a curveball. Well, not a curveball. McBob's.
Okay. Ah, okay.
I've grown up with I grew up with Benji's, and then Jake's. I heard about through my family, and I've gone a couple times, but I feel like it's not the same experience that my parents talked about at Jake's. I feel like it's I get it. It's a staple, and Benji's is solid, but yo, I had one of those McBob sandwiches. I know it doesn't look like I can put one of those down, but I surely can, and I definitely did. So I'm gonna have to give it with the neighborhood guys, McBob's. Shout out Washington Heights. Shout out, yeah.
All right, some more audience questions, not corned beef related, sorry. We were gonna get into, some of your guests on your record. We were gonna mention you collaborate quite often, but most of the time you're a solo guy. So they want to know, what are the pros and cons to working as a solo artist, and does it give a greater platform to address issues important to you personally?
By the way, these are all very good questions. I applaud you all. Wait, and say it one more time. I'm repeat it back to me, but in a paraphrase version.
Is being a solo artist your jam? Is it kind of what suits you?
There we go. I like the balance. I mean, I think I'm pretty introspective. I tend to I really enjoy. I'm okay with myself. I enjoy that. That's a very precious thing. But I think that makes me enjoy, I'm able to space out collaboration and really just do the things, just do what I want to do. So it's not it's never been an ego thing, I have to do all these things myself. But I would also be a liar just to say that it doesn't feel good to be able to do the Prince thing on the back, all songs written, produced, and recorded. Yeah, of course I'm gonna slap that on there. You should know that. But it also took the efforts of people who I consider friends. So that's what it is. Collaboration for me, because music is such otherworldly, almost spiritual experience. I just don't. I don't not collaborate because I don't not like people or something. But it's just if I don't feel that same kind of specialness about the music, then I'm probably not gonna work with you. So I'm not gonna force it. But by all means, I've done songs with 5, 6 people and been, like I said, with altos, and just I've been in environments where collaboration was key, and I love it. Even doing shows with a live band is nice for me because I'll do this, but then it frees me up to just do different things. So it kind of depends on the setting and what's needed, but I'm open to it, but it's got to be for real, and I can sense it. Like I can sit down with somebody and like, oh yeah, I want to do this song, and we're gonna do this, and we get together and like, Actually, we probably don't even get together. I can kind of see it like a mile away, like, you know, I don't think that's gonna happen. Respectfully, like, cool on your thing, but I'm open to it. I love collaboration, but I think I love it even more because I am so sure of myself, at least creatively. So, yeah.
All right. I'm gonna take it back to food.
Yes.
This is another audience question, and I was not aware of this. Klassik burger. Is this the first food or beverage named after you?
Yeah, it is. It's pretty exciting. Yeah.
Congratulations.
There was this, they reached out to me a little while ago, and I can't tell you what it is yet. A, because I don't know what it is yet, because we have to sit down and have like our super secret like planning session. So it is like in the works. This is very exciting. One of my favorite movies is Good Burger, so I feel like I get to put in like they're gonna have Ed's special sauce. Was that what it was? Anybody? Good. No, I may be dating myself. Thank you. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Anyway, so yes, this is the first time when I lived in River West for like a couple days, the collective over there had my drink called the Kellen, but like no one knew who that. Like they were like, who's the Kellen? What is that? But I knew it was for me. It was my dirty chai. But this is the first one, and I'm excited. And hopefully it doesn't suck and people like it.
You could put corned beef on it, just saying.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you all heard it here first. Cal unlocked something in my mind right now. I just cannot see the world any differently. It's raining corned beef shreds
Corned beef colored
on my
glasses.
burger. All right.
While we're thinking about delicious sandwiches, do you think we could do one more song before we go out?
I could do that.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Excellent.
Thanks. All right. All right. Yeah. Give it up for Klassik. We're gonna hear another song.
Let's do. I'm gonna end it with Lone Ranger because I have so much fun doing that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here. I don't want to steal their thunder. Maybe they were supposed to say that, but I'm thanking you for being here and all the people in Radio Land tuning in. I'm gonna do this song, Lone Ranger. I'm on the run, 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 I'm on the run. I'm on the run. Call up the trident, call up me Tonto. I am no ranger, 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 I am no ranger. Moving side, side, moving side, side. I'm on the run, I'm on the run, I'm on the run. Just at the Bronco. I ain't no Jay, I ain't no Jay. Call up the trident, I call him me Tonto. I am no ranger, I am no ranger, I am no ranger, I am no ranger, I am no ranger. I'm on the run, I'm on the run. I'm on the run, baby, I'm on the run. I'm on the run, baby, I'm on the run. I'm side, side to side, side to side. Gotta move side to side, if it's only for the night. Please tell me you down the ride, is you down the ride? Ain't let it slide, let it ride. Side to side, side to side. They say this life is a trip, well I've been living in a stick shift. That means I'm Emmanuel, that means I'm uplifted. The ship has been down to seven, but they just telling me lift it. And I'm down in these accolades, let me just drip on them living. Give me the flowers, well I can still smell them. Black bodies and they still sell them. They just NBA or NFL them, but it ain't no telling. When the only course of path is either that or you become a felon. But not for class, no killing. And if it were not for jazz, I'd be telling a different story. Maybe more pain and maybe more anguish. And maybe I'd be behind on all the payments. And the baby got no porridge. Are we rich kids, are we poor kids? Are we poor kids with a dream, or do we have a wealth of options? Stop it. We poor kids with a dream, or do we have a wealth of options? Stop it. But I ain't. Couple shots to my door, but I still can't complain. I've been through depression, I've been through the pain, trying to let all them things on my system like drain. No, we already know how the game go. Can't put no trust in these hands. So what you won't do for love. You tried everything, but you won't give up. In my world, it's only you. Make me do for love what I would not do. But I still got you moving side to side, side to side.
Thank you for tuning in to tonight's edition of Local Live on WMSE. Local Live is a production of WMSE Radio, recorded and broadcast live from the Bob and Genie Friedman Live Performance Studio on the downtown campus of the Milwaukee School of Engineering. Local Live is produced by Erin Wolf and Cal Roach and engineered by Billy Cicerelli. All video by Moleskin Productions. Hospitality for Local Live artists is provided by Cedar Teeth Pizza, who can be found online at cedarteeth.com, Anodyne Coffee Roasting Company at anodynecoffee.com, and by Sprecher Brewing Company at spreckerbrewery.com. For Local Live videos, follow us at WMSE Milwaukee on YouTube. For upcoming guests and archives of past Local Live performances, visit WMSE.org. And tune in again next Tuesday at 6 p.m. for another edition of Local Live.